Okay, students, now we are in question number 7. So, in this particular question, you can see the dates are also mentioned here. Okay, so I will talk about the dates first. So, whenever you receive the application money, okay, the date is mentioned already. Okay, 1st May 2019. Okay, this is the date when you received your application money. Okay, and when you have to transfer this application money to equity share capital. Okay, it will be transferred when you have to make the allotment call. Okay, when the allotment money will be due, that day that application money will be transferred. Okay, so you have to use that particular date. So July 1 will be followed. Okay, and it will be assumed that the money will be received on the same day also. It will be assumed. Okay, just it is an assumption. So ultimately, we have one more thing, that is your calls in, sorry, this interest on calls in arrear also, okay, which will be passed on the last uh, date, okay, of the financial year. So we will see uh, how the entries are passed. Okay, so this is the case of your oversubscription, because company had issued 50,000 number of shares, but the company received the application for 62,500 number of shares. So first entry will be bank account debit to share application received on 62,500 number of shares. Okay, and after that, the second entry is the main thing, which is your pro rata basis. Okay, so you see here, this question number 7 is the pro rata basis question. Okay, however, this question is under the head issue at premium. Okay, you can follow the page number 561 of your book. Okay, under this head issue at premium, question number 7 is there, which is for the pro rata basis. Okay, so remember this pro rata, okay, under subscription, over subscription, okay, full subscription, you have to understand it by reading the question. You first read the question, then you understand the situation, that what is happening actually here. Okay, so what is pro rata? In short, let me tell you that pro rata is actually the case of oversubscription, okay, in which excess application money will be received, okay, and some portion of application money may be refunded, okay, may or may not be refunded, and the excess money that is received on application will be utilized for uh, or like you can say adjusted with following calls. Okay, it is normally adjusted with allotment. Okay, but sometimes you can see that the allotment money, sorry, that excess money can be adjusted with your allotment, as well as the first call, as well as the final call also. Okay, so there can be the situations. Okay, but this is a very simple case, that excess money of this 10,000 number of shares were actually used uh, for the adjustment here. Let me show you. This is actually the case. Okay, company actually issued 50,000 number of shares, right? So they received application for 62,500 number of shares. Okay, so what is the situation here? Company, they rejected, okay, they refunded the excess application money on 2,500 number of shares, and remaining this 10,000 was uh, adjusted for the allotment. So hence this entry will be passed. Share application account debit to bank account to equity share capital to share allotment. So this bank account, it refers that the excess application money is refunded. Okay, equity share capital account, it refers that the money that has been received on application was transferred, and this excess application, which is still left in their hand after this refund was made, was adjusted towards allotment. Okay, So now let us see how this adjustment can be made here. Okay, so okay, now let us see on 1st July 2019, including premium, the including premium of rupees 2, okay, allotment money was due. Okay, so we know this entry, share allotment account debit to equity share capital to uh, securities premium reserve, in fact, not securities premium reserve only, securities premium reserve. SPR. So this premium is rupees 2 and remaining is your equity share capital account. Okay, so this is your entry. Okay, the total amount is how much? 2,50,000, right? So in this 2,50,000, this 20,000 should be adjusted here. So now you can see here, 2,50,000 is appearing towards the debit side, and in the credit side we already have 20,000. So how much it should be there to match with this debit 2,50,000? It should be 2,50,000 minus 20,000. How much it should be? 2,30,000 share allotment. So this is what is called your pro rata adjustment. This is what is your this pro rata. Okay. Later on, the question will be more difficult. Like you will see category 1, category 2, category 3. Okay, like slab 1, slab 2, slab 3. So we will see that. Okay, afterwards when we reach the actual pro rata. Uh, this excess money was received, okay, on 10,000 number of shares, which was rupees 20,000, and this is here adjusted against share allotment money. Okay, and this is called your pro rata adjustment. Now here, this is a very interesting case here, that calls in area was there in case of your share allotment. Okay, so don't worry about this calls in area here. Okay, because this 10,000 number of shares, actually what is happening here, let me show you. uh, just hold on, I will show you here. Okay, applied issued applied, how much was that? 2,500, 10,000, 40,000 total. Okay, so this is your issued. Okay, this is your let us do one thing. Let us take it as applied and this be issued here. Okay, okay, so how many number of shares were actually applied? Let me just give you one. Okay, so company actually had issued how many number of shares? 50,000 number of shares, right? Let us make this much bigger. Okay, maybe this is okay now. Okay, so company, they had actually issued 50,000 number of shares, but public, they had applied for 62,500 number of shares. Okay, uh, you can write allotted also. Okay, so first 2,500. Okay, let us make the category here 2,500, this 10,000, and remaining how much? 1050. Okay, so out of which this was refunded. Okay, nothing was allotted. Okay, no number of shares were allotted here in case of 2500. That's why they were refunded here. Okay, this 2500. That's why we are making the refund here. Okay, and if you see the question properly, if you read the question, if you have a look at the adjustment here, it was decided to, point number A, refuse allotment to the applicants of 2500. So you are making the refusal, okay, of 2500. Okay, so it will be nil. Okay, allotted will be nil. Okay, so allot in full to the applicants of 10,000 number of shares. So you can allot full 10,000. Okay, so 10,000 was applied and 10,000 was allotted. Okay, out of now here, this 50,000 shares were applied, but only out of which 40,000 shares can be allotted, because this is your uh, actual number that was issued to the public, 50,000. So whatever the number of shares are actually issued, that only can be allotted. Okay, it should be equal. And here we are having the excess. Okay, we have the uh, sorry, excess of 10,000 number of shares. So this is the number of shares that were actually used for the adjustment that was made here in case of your allotment. Okay, so read the question one more time. You will see here, all the money due was received except from one shareholder to whom 200 shares had been allotted in full. So what do we mean by this statement? This is actually this: the shareholder, okay, who was holding 200 number of shares belonged to this category. Okay, he had applied for 200 number of shares, and his 200 number of shares were actually allotted. Okay, so he was actually from this particular category. Okay, so if we see about a category, this is a category 1, category 2, category 3. Okay, if we can divide this here. Okay, so he was belonging from this particular category. Excuse me. So we don't have to worry about. Okay, but if he was from this category, okay, then we have to use a particular formula. Okay, we have to use that particular formula, that is your number of shares applied equals to total number of application divided by total number of shares allotted into number of shares allotted. You have to follow that, like apply that formula and get the number of shares applied. So there is a different case. We don't have to worry about that. So 200 number of shares actually failed to pay the allotment money on time. So this is your case. Okay, so this is a very simple case. Just pass this particular entry. Okay, and this is it. After which you have to make the first and final call also. Okay, again the same thing is happening here, that 200 number of shares failed to pay the share first and final call money again. Okay, which is very simple. I hope you know it by now. Okay, so this is it, and we have to calculate this interest also. Okay, how this interest is calculated now? We have to prepare this balance sheet. So you know how to prepare, sorry, this cash book. Okay, this cash book preparation is very simple, but we have the date this time, so follow the date properly. Okay, which is from the journal, and this is the first thing. Okay, so now you can see here the allotment money was due. Okay, so when this allotment money was due, it was due from July 1. Okay, so allotment money, this rupees 1000 due on share allotment for 9 months, because it's from 1st July till 31st March. It will be 9 months. That's why we are doing here 9 by 12. Okay, and the first call money was from 1st October. Sorry, this first and final call money from 1st of October. Okay, so it is for 6 months. Okay, so 1000 into 10 by 100, because this is the rate of interest. Okay, and you have to consider the time factor also. So it will be 75 and 50 together, it will be 125. So this is how you calculate the amount, and the entry will be sundry members, or you can write sundry shareholders also. Okay, we have already discussed in the lecture video previously that shareholders are actually the members of the company. Okay, so we can write sundry members account debit to interest on calls in arrear account, and the amount will be 125. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so maybe this particular thing may have uh, made you confused also. So if there is confusion, let me know. Okay, because in further questions we have to do this kind of thing, and we should know. Okay, we should understand this. Okay, from where this 200 number of shares is actually, okay, from which category he is actually belonging from. So we should know that. Where is that? Yes, this 200 number of shares which were actually standing here in calls in arrear.